Oceans burning. Skies glowing with strange lights, and rivers turning red for reasons we can't fully explain. The world around us is getting stranger. So sit tight for the most intense nature moments caught on camera that will leave you shocked. You never expect the ocean itself to catch fire, but that's exactly what happened in the Gulf of Mexico. Near an offshore drilling platform, workers saw bright orange flames bursting out of the water, spreading fast. Boats rushed in, trying to spray water on the fire. A strange, impossible sight. Experts later confirmed it wasn't the sea itself. It was an oil leak from an underwater pipe, ignited by a spark from the rig. But even knowing the truth, the sight was shocking. Later, another similar incident happened. Marine experts captured the ocean again on fire from a helicopter. Even knowing the truth, the scene felt unreal, like the ocean itself was alive and showing its anger. Sea locusts. Two men were just casually walking when thousands of insects swarmed around them, creating a wall of sound that felt almost alive. This sight is quite rare, but it happens for a reason, especially when food runs out or the weather shifts. These insects attack the farmers' fields. The locals, on the other hand, living near the coast, blame this on the ocean. They call these sea locusts, spirits of water sent to punish anyone who angers the waters. For the two men, it didn't feel like nature at all. It felt like the sea itself was sending a warning. Burning core. Deep in the forest, a woodcutter was chopping into a massive tree when something strange happened. The trunk began to burn from the inside, even though the outside looked completely untouched. It was as if striking the tree had awakened something hidden deep within. The real reason is surprisingly scientific. The resin-filled interior heats up, building pressure until the sap reaches near boiling. In dry forests, that trapped heat can ignite the core, making it look like the tree is burning from within. Purple light. Late one night in Vancouver, Canada, a man was quietly filming the night sky when a strange light caught his attention. What made it even weirder was the way it moved. The light glided silently for a few seconds, then vanished completely, like someone had flipped a switch. People who witnessed this believe these aren't satellites at all, but secret watchers, surveillance crafts, or scouts from somewhere far beyond Earth. Red rivers. Have you seen rivers turning red? It started with the Nile, terrifying viewers online. Soon after, a river in Peru's Quejesto region also turned a deep crimson. Before anyone could understand why, red rain poured down a mountain in Iran in 2025. Experts say the Peruvian river's color came from rain washing iron-rich clay down the slopes, while Iran's rain was caused by iron oxide in the soil. The story took a turn when priests pointed out that these red water events recall the Bible's story in Exodus, where the Nile turned red as a warning from God. Seeing rivers and rain turn red across continents makes the ancient warning feel alive today, as if the plagues described thousands of years ago are appearing again. Solar eclipse. People came to the beach expecting a sunny, ordinary day, but something unforgettable happened. As everyone stood by the water, the sky slowly dimmed, like someone was turning down a giant light switch. Then, right in front of them, the moon slid in front of the sun. Day turned into night, and the sun's corona appeared, a glowing ring of light, like a perfect circle of fire. Everyone knew they were witnessing a rare moment, one that might never come again. Glowing ocean. Off the coast of Southern California, the waves began glowing bright blue, like liquid starlight washing ashore. Every footprint left a shimmering trail, and splashes burst into tiny, glowing sparks. People stared in awe, some joking about sunken UFOs or lost cities beneath the waves. Now, guys, the real reason was just as amazing. Millions of tiny, bioluminescent algae lit up whenever the water moved, turning the ocean into a glowing, otherworldly mirror that felt almost impossible to believe.
Oh, check out this bioluminescent algae in the sand.
Glowing visitor.
What is it? It's going for a long time. Looks like a fireball, but not really. It's the wrong color.
A couple from Rich Valley, Alberta, couldn't believe their eyes when they spotted a glowing ball of light hovering over a field about a kilometer from their home. The bright orb stayed almost 20 feet above the ground, moving slowly across the land before it suddenly disintegrated. Some called it ball lightning, but it looks different. But guys, the way it floated suggested something else, maybe a UFO sent to spy, quietly observing from above. The storm passed, but the memory stayed. A mysterious visitor in the sky.
After a rather vicious lightning strike, we saw the ball of fire kind of retain, 20 feet above the ground.
Rising cloud. A man entered a forest in search of his lost dog. He soon found his dog, but then something really strange caught his eye. Suddenly, the trees moved and lifted up, as if the ground below was breathing. It looked like the forest was haunted, with ghosts trying to scare him away. Later, he discovered the truth. Strong wind blowing through the water-saturated ground made the trees sway in that strange way. What seemed like ghosts were really just nature showing a hidden trick. Sea vortex. A man standing on a bridge in Saint-Malo, France, saw something shocking below. A massive whirlpool had formed, so perfectly circular, it looked like the ocean was opening a hole straight into the earth. He zoomed in with his camera, mesmerized as the water spun faster, pulling everything toward its dark center. People online called it a sea portal or a drain to another world. Whatever caused it, the vortex left everyone watching in awe and disbelief. Meteor fall.
A blazing fireball has lit up the early morning sky, caught on camera in Perth and right across WA. Experts now searching to find out if or where the meteor landed.
A blazing fireball lit up the early morning sky in Perth, Australia. Security cameras caught the bright streak as it raced toward Earth. Experts say it was a meteor, maybe the size of a cricket ball or a basketball, moving so fast it glowed green and orange. Some speculated it could be space debris, but the truth didn't matter. Australians were left staring in awe, witnessing a rare, unforgettable moment in the morning sky.
Oh, what a sight! What a sight!
Rising Earth. Back in 2021 in Haryana, India, people standing near a river saw something strange. A large piece of land under the water suddenly rose up, almost like something big was pushing from below. For a few seconds, it looked like a creature was about to come out of the river. People filmed it in shock. No one could explain exactly what was happening. Whatever it was, the river seemed alive for that brief moment, leaving everyone who saw it staring in disbelief. Electric sands. In China's Kumtag Desert, a group of tourists experienced something strange. As they climbed a sand dune, their hair suddenly lifted into the air, as if invisible hands were pulling it. At the same time, a low buzzing sound filled the emptiness around them. Standing there, it felt both eerie and mesmerizing. Scientists explained it as strong electric charges building in the clouds above. But in that vast, silent desert, the moment felt far more mysterious than any scientific explanation could capture. Hell's Gate. You think ski trips are all fun and snowy? Well, in Chernihiv, Russia, locals got shocked to see a giant hole suddenly appeared near an old iron ore mine, looking like something straight out of a nightmare. Smoke and steam rose from the crater, and people started calling it the Gate to Hell. Geologists say it happened because gas had been building up underground and finally pushed through the surface. It's a natural process, but seeing the Earth split open like that is enough to scare anyone. Desert streams. In one of Saudi Arabia's driest deserts, something surprising appeared. Locals captured clear streams flowing right through the barren sand. Rainfall is rare here. Rivers almost never run, so seeing water like this felt unreal. Netizens saw it as a sign, recalling religious verses about dry land bringing forth water. Scientists say underground pressure or sudden rainfall can push hidden groundwater to the surface, but for those who saw it, the moment felt like something far beyond science. Burning ocean mystery. A tourist filming off Mocha Island, Chile, caught the ocean bursting into flames. Yes, the sea was literally on fire. Experts tried to calm the public, saying it was methane gas escaping from the seabed and catching fire. But not everyone's convinced. The conspiracist called it the curse of the ocean, and that started a never-ending debate on what we are doing to the Earth. So, what's your take on this? Let me know in the comments below. Burning sky. A driver on the highway captured an incredible sight at sunset. The sky was filled with thousands of small clouds, glowing in deep orange, fiery red, and gold, stretching endlessly above the road, like a giant blanket on fire. The brightness and color made the scene feel almost unreal. Some whispered it was a warning from the skies. Others wondered if it was a sign of something bigger. Whatever it was, anyone who saw it will never forget the burning sky. Falling flame. In Brazil, a photographer captured a sky scene that felt almost unreal. A massive cloud stretched downward like a giant teardrop, glowing deep red and orange. The center seemed denser, like something was falling from the sky, carving a path through the calm air. Some wondered if it was a warning or a sign of change. Others whispered it might be a mysterious force descending from above. Whatever it was, everyone who saw it felt something beyond ordinary had passed through that sky. Mountain surge. We think of the Himalayas as quiet and still, but deep inside, the mountains are always moving. On the bank of a river in northern India, people saw something strange. A strong jet of cold water and white vapor suddenly gushing out of a crack in the rock. The water was even making a loud hissing and roaring sound. Might be this was the earth itself letting out a warning, or maybe sleeping mountain spirits had awakened, restless beneath the rock. Perhaps the Himalayas were reminding everyone that even the stillest mountains hide power beyond human control. Whispering tree. After a fresh snowfall, a man walking through the forest saw something he couldn't believe. A tree sending thin, quiet streams of smoke into the cold air. There was no fire, no burnt bark, not even the scent of heat, just pale wisps curling up and vanishing. People who watched the footage were left uneasy. Was it a rare, natural reaction, or something the forest was hiding that science still doesn't fully understand? Insect swarm. Something wild happened in Pune, western India, on the 9th of February, 2024. A tornado-like swirl of bugs suddenly appeared over the city. People were rushing indoors, worried about disease-spreading mosquitoes as long columns of insects twisted through the streets. It looked almost like chaos in the sky, but experts say there's nothing to fear. According to them, it is the nearby Mammoth River, polluted and full of nutrients, makes the perfect breeding ground. But still, seeing nature spin into a storm of living creatures like that, it's the kind of moment you won't forget. Swallowing swamp.
Work has begun to determine the cause of a large sinkhole that emerged on River Street yesterday afternoon. The repairs can't begin until after the problem is identified. So for now, all 4 lanes remain closed to vehicle and pedestrian traffic between Algoma and College Streets. Excavation work was undertaken today. Contractor Norm Nadine estimates they'll need to dig down 30 to 35 feet to find the source of the issue.
In Louisiana, a small grove of trees just vanished into a sudden underwater sinkhole. Emergency crews captured the eerie moment as the water swirled and swallowed everything in sight. Experts say it's linked to a collapsing underground salt dome, and the hole, already 25 acres wide, keeps growing, forcing locals to leave. Not long after, another giant sinkhole appeared in a backyard in Ipswich, Australia, and near River Street. The ground seems calm, ordinary, but what's really under our feet might be far from it.
It's hard to explain, a hole in the backyard. And as we've been out here watching it all morning with our neighbours, it's got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Red sky tentacles. This time, the sky didn't just flash white or blue, but showered its own gigantic red energy. High above the mountains in Tibet, a local researcher caught a massive red and pink columns shot down from the dark sky far above the clouds. Turns out, it was a rare phenomenon called a red sprite, a flash of plasma high in the atmosphere. But for those who saw it, it looked like a celestial warning, or the sky showing us a secret energy we never notice. Such events prove how little we really know about the sky above us. Door to hell. Have you ever seen the desert suddenly catch fire? In Saudi Arabia, a viral video showed flames erupting from a hole in the sand, making people wonder if it was a volcanic eruption or even a doorway to hell opening. The fire rose from nowhere, the sand boiling as if the earth itself was alive. Experts later explained it wasn't volcanic. There was no smoke or eruption. It was actually a natural gas leak or underground industrial activity igniting. Glacier melting in Antarctica.
Oh my God, look at that!
In Antarctica, a researcher's boat was exploring near a massive glacier when suddenly a huge block of ice surged upward. For a moment, it stood like a frozen tower, then crashed back into the water with a thunderous splash. Scientists haven't explained what caused it yet, leaving everyone who witnessed it with a chilling, mysterious, and unforgettable memory.
Oh my God! Look at this run!
Bulging clouds. In a remote area, the sky suddenly looked completely wrong. Instead of smooth clouds, the underside sagged into strange, bulging pouch-like shapes that hung heavily over the land. Later, this strange sight was captured in Cordoba, Argentina, right after a massive thunderstorm. Scientists later identified them as Mammoth clouds, formed when strong, sinking air inside storm clouds creates these unusual bubble-like shapes. Well, for locals and ancient traditions, such clouds were often more than weather. Some Hindu stories saw them as signs of great challenges or blessings moving quietly above the earth. Sky signals.
Here it comes, here it comes.
On July 20th, 2025, residents in Virginia saw strangely glowing skies from which they couldn't look away. Even though officials tried to call it a rare weather phenomenon, the colors and the steady blinking felt different. It looked like these weren't just clouds, but ships hovering above, charging energy or sending secret warnings to Earth. The world watched, stunned, as the mysterious sky refused to explain itself.
Get out of my car. Not doing anything dangerous.
Trumpet sky.
A lot of us have heard our parents and grandparents say we're in our last days. Is the end actually near, meaning end of the world? Multiple videos of horn sounds coming from the skies around the world over the last few years have gone viral, leaving us wondering what in the hell is going on.
Residents in Sydney, Australia, heard strange trumpet-like noises rolling across the city. Soon after, people in Brooklyn were trapped by low, humming sounds that seemed to come from the clouds themselves.
What is this sound?
The strange noise was everywhere, impossible to ignore. Even local media reported it. Videos of the event spread quickly, and many said it felt like a warning from above. Religious leaders even linked the sounds to passages in Revelation, suggesting the horns were a sign that judgment was near.
Someone, we say God, did this, and we need to know more about God because God made us. That's a natural thing. So these sounds, all of this disruption, I think we need to get to a point of comfort with God where no matter what happens.
It was as if the sky was not just making noise, but sending a message, one that reminded the world that silence from above could vanish in an instant. UFO orbs. Eyewitnesses across Canada reported bizarre green and pink glowing orbs moving in the night sky. The light coming out of them shifted erratically, one moment inside the clouds, the next outside, then vanished in an instant. Their sudden appearance over cities now suggests we may be under observation by forces far beyond human understanding. First it was Virginia, then Canada, who knows? Next will be your city, so stay alert. Alien cloud. A massive cloud hung over Islamabad, Pakistan, during a sudden thunderstorm. The locals noticed it glowing strangely, with bright flashes lighting up the dark sky. Science explained this phenomenon as cumulonimbus clouds. They are basically storm clouds charged with electricity, but something about the shape caught everyone's eye. But no official explanation came out, leaving locals convinced that the sky sometimes hides more than just weather. 4 suns. Something unbelievable happened in China recently. People looked up and didn't see just one sun. They saw 4, all lined up next to each other, with one shining brighter than the rest. The heat was intense, and the sky looked like it belonged in a different world. Some thought it was just a reflection or a trick of the light. Others whispered about the end of the world. And with so many strange sightings happening already, this could be the end of the world. Mud volcano. In a remote, dry part of Gobistan, a team of researchers captured something strange on camera. A round pit of thick, gray mud slowly bulged and burst, almost like a giant bubble on a stove. It looked unusual at first, but this too had an explanation. It was a mud volcano. Deep underground, gas and water push thick layers of mud and clay to the surface, creating this slow, mesmerizing movement. These mud cones show us that the ground beneath our feet is far more alive and active than most of us realize. Red portal. In North America, a local resident captured something unbelievable on camera. A bright red line moved slowly across the night sky, then suddenly curved into a perfect glowing circle, almost like a portal opening in the clouds. Moments later, strange lights appeared just beneath the cloud layer. This sighting left people stunned. It looked like a UFO was hiding there, using the red circle as its entry point, and was performing a surveillance check. Sky fireball. This massive object lit up the sky as if the sun itself had exploded in the middle of the night. Locals rushed to film it, convinced something scary was falling to Earth. Scientists later confirmed it was a newly discovered asteroid. NASA had tracked it and knew it would burn up harmlessly in the atmosphere, turning to dust far above the ground. Still, some saw it as a warning, a small glimpse of biblical stories where fire rains from the sky as judgment. Ice spheres. Along Lake Michigan's frozen shoreline, people noticed something strange. Hundreds of perfectly round ice balls scattered across the beach. They weren't broken ice or snow piles. They looked hand-carved, smooth, and solid. The mystery has a natural explanation. When the water is just below freezing, small, slushy ice pieces form and get rolled by waves, building layers until they become round, like snowballs in water. Wind and waves eventually push them ashore, leaving a rare, sculpted display of nature's artistry. flowering desert. Some visitors to Chile's Atacama Desert witnessed something they couldn't believe. The barren, dry land suddenly burst into color. Thousands of flowers seemed to appear overnight, carpeting the desert in bright hues. It's a rare event called Desierto Florido, or the flowering desert. Actually, seeds of over 200 species lie dormant for years, waiting for the rare rainfall that finally wakes them. For tourists watching, it felt like the desert was hiding a secret, revealing it only once in a lifetime. Fire moon.
From that association, we also got them from our viewers. Melissa Gessner sent us the full blood warm moon. You can see it in partial eclipse there, and then the total eclipse right there with that red copperish color. We also have video that we can show you of the event overnight.
Now this wasn't just another eclipse. The March 2025 blood moon turned the skies above South Florida a deep, fiery red. Viewers across the U.S. captured the moon glowing like hot copper. Later on, even experts stepped in, explaining that this strange color came from sunlight bending through Earth's atmosphere, the same reason sunsets turn red. But not everyone was convinced. Maybe it was the long-predicted fire moon mentioned in ancient texts, a warning that the skies are sending signals again.
So you have the sunlight that passes through the Earth's atmosphere. Now, blue and violet light, they have shorter wavelengths, and they scatter more easily throughout the sky. Red is a longer wavelength, and so that passes through the outer edge of the Earth's atmosphere and projects on the moon. So whenever we are viewing the moon during a total lunar eclipse, it appears in that red copperish color. Now, hopefully you caught it, because the next time we'll be able to see the total lunar eclipse in the blood moon is going to be in 2029.
Deep sea visitor. In 2002, a deep-sea camera captured what looked like a giant squid gliding along the ocean floor. At first, everything seemed normal, until a sudden streak of blinding light shot across the screen. Marine researchers ruled out fish, submarines, or camera errors. What appeared was something else entirely. A glowing, plasma-covered object moving as if the water didn't exist. Some wonder if it's an alien craft, hiding in the ocean's deepest trenches, silently watching from the one place humans rarely reach. Singing desert's mystery. Deserts are supposed to be silent, but in some places, the sand itself seems to sing. Travelers have reported a deep humming rolling across the dunes, echoing for miles. Even Marco Polo once revealed that these sounds came from spirits under the sand. No one really knows why it happens. Is it a trick of nature or something more? For those who hear it, the desert feels alive. Rainbow omen. It was Costa Rica's Independence Day when the sky turned into a scene no one could explain. Over cities like San Jose, Parita, and Escazú, people looked up to see a glowing, rainbow-colored cloud stretching across the sky. It was glowing so brightly that many believed it was a sign of the end times. Some thought it was a sign of the end times. Others whispered about a hidden spaceship or a portal to another world. No official explanation came, leaving everyone staring in awe at the mysterious, impossible sky. Mountain spirit. On a steep Alpine mountainside, a photographer captured something she couldn't believe. A column of dust spinning in the freezing air. It moved as if guided by an invisible hand, twisting and dancing with a strange, almost deliberate grace. Scientists might call it a dust devil, but those usually appear in hot deserts, not icy mountains. Whatever this was, it didn't follow nature's rules. Watching it felt haunting, as if the mountain itself had a secret, moving right in front of her eyes. Dark Watcher. Over Sydney, people noticed something unusual against the sky. A dark, torn mass hung beneath the clouds, not drifting like normal clouds, but hovering there, as if suspended by an invisible thread. Viewers online wondered if it could be a probe, something quietly observing us from above. Or it might be part of a secret experiment, a test we weren't meant to notice. The moment passed quickly, yet the sense of being watched stayed long after the clouds returned to normal. Cloaked cloud. In Richmond, Virginia, a worker recorded something that left everyone speechless. Up in the sky, a massive cloud stretched for miles, shaped like a thick, endless rope across the horizon. But this wasn't any normal cloud. It looked almost as if it was hiding something inside. People online started calling it a cloaked cloud, claiming it might be a cover for hundreds of UFOs moving together. Others believed it was the side effect of a secret science experiment gone wrong. The sky that day felt like it was keeping a secret, and maybe something was watching from above. Secret illumination.
Oh my God. What is that?
No one expected an ordinary night in California to turn so strange. A family looking out their window saw bright lights flashing behind old, abandoned buildings. The lights glowed in 3 colors, painting the sky with an eerie shine. No sound, no movement, just the strange glow. The next day, there were no reports, no explanations. Some wondered if it was a secret test. Others whispered about aliens. Whatever it was, the truth never came out.
What is this?
Oh my God.
Demon face. A video recorded from the top of a building in Istanbul, Turkey, caught something terrifying. During a thunderstorm, thick, dark clouds covered the city, but a section of lighter clouds formed a strange, humanoid face. Broad forehead, deep eye sockets, a visible nose, and a chin. It looked like a demon staring down. People who saw it were scared, thinking it might be a warning of something bad. Some say that storms can create cloud shapes that trick the eye. Still, for those who watched the video, the face in the sky felt hauntingly real. Forest frost. While walking through the forest, a hiker spotted a thin branch covered with what looks like cotton or foam, a soft, white fuzz hugging the bark. At first, it seemed almost magical, like fairy dust had brushed the woods. But the truth is more ordinary. Tiny, woolly aphids cover themselves in waxy filaments, feeding on the tree's sap beneath. Rainbow dome. In Haiku City, China, residents noticed a strange sight above the clouds. A rainbow-colored circular shape hovered in the sky. At first, it looked like normal sunset light, but the colors didn't fade. Even after darkness fell, the rainbow remained, glowing over the mountains like a dome of light. Some wondered if it was a portal to another world. Others whispered the glow came from something hidden in the clouds. Whatever it was, the sky was showing a secret no one could fully explain. Dark portal.
Oh, look at the smoke.
A couple was driving down a quiet road in California when suddenly a dark, misty ring appeared right in front of them. It hovered slowly just above their car, almost as if it were watching them. The couple wondered if it could be some kind of extraterrestrial portal opening in the sky. Now, I know some of you would call it a smoke ring, but after looking around the nearby area, I don't think it could have been the kind that appears after a transformer blast. So, what's your take on this? Let me know in the comments below.